Hi guys, this is your host and host Suhail Mathur, and I welcome you to a brand new episode of Superstars with Suhail, where the questions will be sharp and the responses hopefully sharper. And the superstar over here today with us is a man of multiple talents. He started off being a teacher and then went on to churn out one best-selling book after another in the field of horror, not only in fiction but also non-fiction, and then traversed to writing screenplays for web, TV, and films, and now is a great fitness enthusiast and the founder of one of India's best literary festivals, in my opinion, Litventure. So, a dear friend of mine with whom we've had several collaborations. Pleased to welcome the one and only Mr. Neil De Silva. Neil, welcome to Superstars with Suhail.
Thank you so much, Suhail. And you have named this Superstars with Suhail, but then you are the biggest superstar around here.
Well, I'm a superstar because of my authors, and I truly recognize that. And of
I'm
course,
sure people know the various hats that you don yourself. So thanks for the introduction and right back at you.
Thank you. So, Neil, I'll tell you very quickly about our show. So, our show has 13 segments, and you just need to promise us three things. Number one, that you will be quick and fast. Number two, you'll be frank and honest. And number three, nothing that comes your way should shock you. Okay? So, with those three things firmly in place, let's move.
As long as you don't tell me to dance.
I'll not tell you to dance. I'll not tell you to dance. You'll have to sit, enjoy, and relax. So, let's move to segment one, which is called Pehli Pehli Baar Hai. So now, Neil, in Pehli Pehli Baar Hai, I'd be asking you 5 firsts of your life, and you have to, of course, give us the response and also give us a little background so that the audience is able to know a little more about it. So, without further ado, here we go. The first of your firsts, your first crush.
It was somewhere back in school, I think 9th grade.
Okay, and did you ever tell the girl, or what happened thereafter?
No, but we had this 10th standard thing where we would write in the slam book.
Okay.
So I have written a very, very, very indirect thing, but I'm sure it was not received. I was not a very good writer then.
Oh, purely her loss. Okay, but at least it was something associated with writing that now that you can, recount. Okay, your first salary and how did you spend it?
That I remember very well. 1,000 rupees for teaching English to a student who was in 10th grade then, and I was myself in the 12th standard.
Nice.
That was a tuition kind of thing, and that guy used to always get very low marks in English everywhere else was scoring. So his father brought me to teach him English, and I ended up the tuition, the collaboration, the association, whatever you may call it. So the father was very stingy, and I remember how he sat and bargained and argued for reducing the 100 rupees to 900, 1,000 rupees to 900 rupees. 100 rupees discount. This was 1994.
94.
So even 100 rupees was too much at that time. So he sat for 2 months. My dad finally agreed, chalo theek hai, 900 mein kar lete hain. But after I took about 3 classes with the guy, his father came and said, your son is teaching him so well that I am now ashamed that I sat that day for a 100 rupee discount. I'm going to pay you the full amount.
That's great.
And he did that. The guy got like 79 marks out of 100 in English, which was very good at that time.
Nice. So wonderful. What a heartwarming story. Okay, your first vehicle.
My first vehicle, is it?
Yeah.
It was a Wagon-R.
Okay.
It was a Wagon-R back in, I don't remember the year, maybe 2010. Yeah, 2010.
Alright, nice.
I don't drive, but I had one.
Okay, nice. Actually, it's actually a smart decision these days, with the traffic, it's always good to just sit back, relax, and I think, most of the times, while I have my own, set of vehicles at home, most of the times I take an Uber and an Ola and, just keep it plain and simple. So, it's a good idea that you adopted way back.
Now you have Ola, you have Uber, you can just reach anywhere that you want.
Exactly.
And Mumbai traffic for me, Delhi traffic for you, you know how it is.
So yes, always. Absolutely.
If to sit on the back seat and think about something, your stories or the event that
Exactly. Completely.
Traffic.
Yes. So, your first literary memory.
My first literary, such an interesting question. Suhail, where do I begin? 7th standard.
Begin with the first.
This is the first. I wrote a book on my dad's typewriter.
Okay.
I typed it out and it was named Petra. It was the story of 4 children trapped in a cave where there's a monster. That is what I remember.
Okay.
So I typed it, I bound it, I even drew the cover of it, and I gave it to all my friends to read it to some of my teachers.
Nice.
And that book was, of course, everybody liked it, but it had a very sad demise. The book had a very sad demise. I'll tell you how. So I gave it to a friend of mine to read it, and he did not return it to me for a long time. I kept on asking him, "कहाँ गया मेरा किताब? वो एक ही है. मैंने कितने लिखा है? You have to put it back." Finally, he brought it back, and when he brought it back, I was shocked. The last 2 pages were torn out; they were not there. So I said, "What is this?" He told me. My dad did not know what this was, so when a telephone call came, he wrote the number of the person and he tore the page and took it. So I was so sad, that was the end of my first book. So
But do you have a copy of that?
No, I got so angry that I just discarded the book. I know how Anirban Bhattacharya has that.
Exactly.
Just that, I feel that pang, a little sadness. It emerges again.
I think it really hurts when people you give something to don't value it. I remember, I think my mom had given some book to a relative of mine, and of course, inadvertently over here this seemed a little more casual in approach. But what happened was that they had dogs at home, and the dogs actually chewed off the pages. So by the time we received the book, it was pretty much in a mangled shape. So I can understand. I empathize over there genuinely. And if it's your first, then it hurts all the more. Okay, but a very genuine answer.
One more thing.
Yeah.
This also I should share because I was a big fan of Amay Chitrakatha and Tinku. I used to collect them like nobody's business. I had it.
Which one?
Amay Chitrakatha.
Amay Chitrakatha, of course. Yes.
I had a big, huge collection. I still have. I had Tinkle number 1. You won't believe it. It was so rare. But I was so, into it that I once wrote a letter to Uncle Pai. Uncle Anand Pai, the founder of Tinkle. I wrote to him, and he wrote back. This was I was very, very young. I think 6th, 7th standard. He wrote back, and it was such a beautiful letter. And he just said that I had sent a story for Tinkle, in fact, and that story was rejected. But he sent me a letter as a reply, and he said that it's a beautiful story, but Tinkle, you may need to work. He gave some feedback and all that, and he said we would love to see you as a writer one day and all that. I lost the letter also because when we were moving house, I don't know where the letter went, but this was something that really put me on the path, you can say.
Nice. So nice. Yes, I think Uncle Pai via Amar Chitrakatha has played such a crucial role in everyone's growing up years, formative years. And that is why we eventually went on to represent a book on Uncle Pai. The first and only official biography on Uncle Pai has been represented by us. And, all of us have such great Amar Chitrakatha memories. I was telling Prasoon, so I'll tell you the same thing. I told him on the show. So, I used to also buy a lot of Amar Chitrakathas, and, so I used to also go to my golf club where they used to keep a lot of Amar Chitrakathas, say 10 to 15, and they used to make one volume out of it. Okay. So what happened was that after every Amar Chitrakatha story ended, there were certain contests in between over there. So I saw Match the Following, right? And I knew the answers to it. So I was in the first or the second standard. Then I think I was in first standard, 1995, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that, and I knew the answers. So I told my parents to apply. I wanted to send my entry for it. So now the thing was that it was 1995 when I saw the question or the contest. The last date of that contest was somewhere in 1985. Okay, to apply. So my parents said that it's 1985 and I said no, but please try. Of course I was a kid, so I said please try. So we did we tore that portion out, wrote the address, sent it, and a week later, 10 days later, I received an envelope from Amar Chitrakatha mentioning that I had won the contest, and I got a 10 rupee prize for it, because that was the prize. 10 rupees was the prize. So whoever won that, so I got the prize. And of course, I think so many years later, I had the realization that obviously it never went in the first place My parents were the ones who put that 10 rupee note in the envelope to encourage me. And I've still not had that conversation with them. But obviously you realize over a period of time, and it's still a sweet memory. So again, can totally relate. Okay, the last one coming your way.
That we are doing.
Yeah, last one coming your way from segment one, which is how did the idea of your first book with the bookmakers generate and germinate? So, of course, we've done so many, but I think the first one we officially represented you on was probably Jay's book, right? The one that you did
No,
with him.
it was Yakshini.
It was Yakshini. Okay, Yakshini. As I said, we've done so many together, so many successful books, and he writes books at supersonic speed. He, in fact, wants to do 4 in 2024. So I have a job at my hands. So, okay. So how did the idea of Yakshini come about?
So if you remember, Suhail, we connected in 2015 itself. That was when my first book, self-published book, came out, Maya's New Spirit.
Yeah.
And when it worked, then that was when we connected. We connected via Facebook. We became friends first, and then
Yes.
I got introduced. I came to know of you as an agent, and you said that you would love to represent Maya's New Husband. But at that time, Maya's New Husband was already published. It already had a movie deal and all that, so it didn't. Then 2 years later, when I wrote Yakshini and I again self-published it, that time we were having some kind of a casual conversation because we were in touch over many
Yes.
things. And then we had this beautiful conversation where you said that, where you in fact convinced me, like, why don't you get traditionally published? You have it in you.
Yeah.
I was not.
absolutely.
I was not sure at that time. I was not sure of how to go about the whole process, the waiting period, and this. I was very scared. In fact, we had this one dinner in Andheri where we spoke about all these things. And then you told me, no, take the step and I will do it for you. So you are a magic guy in my life, in my writing
Thank
life.
you. I'm so happy that Yakshini happened, and it happened with one of India's biggest publishing houses for publication.
On top of that, I got the best publisher that I could dream of. I got Rupa for it.
Yes.
And Rupa's email came referring you that you had pitched it, and I was so happy about it.
That was also my first book with the concerned editor on that book, Saswati, which is why the email came to you, because I also remember, usually it comes to me and then I tell.
No, that's fine, because they had definitely looped you in.
Yeah.
And in succession, about I think 2 weeks later, we got the email from Penguin also. And that was regarding Haunted, the book with Jayalani.
Correct.
The deals were in 2017-18.
Yeah.
The books came out in 2019. And back to back, I have with Penguin.
Absolutely.
And what you had said, like you have it in you to be traditionally published, it was true. And all my fears also were abated, because I was thinking, will people accept, what is the whole process? And first of all, I'm writing horror. A genre which people don't easily take.
Yeah.
So,
no, it was wonderful. Yes, and we eventually did so many with Saswati also, and she became a very dear friend. So, start of many firsts over there. And I think one of the best memories associated with Yakshini would be the fact that there was actually a reader who loved the book so much that she actually painted herself in 2 halves, which is the cover of.
Not just one. There were about 5 or 6 readers that did that.
Yeah.
So, on Instagram, because I don't know, they just loved the story and the way we made it.
Wonderful. No, that's great. And that brings me to the end of the first segment. And now I take you to segment 2, which is called the Rocking Rapid Fire. So as the name suggests, Neil, I'll ask you 10 questions and you have to respond in, well, A, rocking manner, and B, in a rapid manner. So here we go. A movie you saw on the sly from your parents.
Basic Instinct.
Basic Instinct. Alright. An Indian female author or literary personality that you find pretty.
That I find?
Pretty.
Oh, there were so many. No, I'm not going to do this. This will cost.
This is no. It's pretty. So it's a compliment. It's a compliment. So you can just mention the first. You can just mention the first. Just say it chronologically. Who you found first?
First, okay. When I was very young, Shobha Day.
Shobha Day. All right. Commercial success or critical acclaim?
Critical acclaim. Always.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you all also have Someone who has so much commercial success is bound to say critical acclaim too. Okay, book launches or lit fests?
I didn't get the first word.
Book launches or lit fests?
Lit fests.
Okay.
Lit.
Who's hotter, girl in a sari or girl in a bikini?
Sari.
Okay.
It's a no-brainer.
All right. An Indian actor you would like to date?
An Indian actor, I think. I don't know. I had this huge crush on Madhuri Dixit at a time. Then it was Urmila Matondkar. But now, I actually have had kind of interactions with them in a way. So it's fine. I mean, the equation moves on.
Okay, so maybe either of these two back in the day. All right. Naughty or nice?
Tough. Nice with a dash of naughty.
Okay. Movies or web series?
Movies.
Okay. An Indian book you wish you had written?
Okay. The White Tiger.
White Tiger. All right. Mind, body or soul? The aspect that impresses you the most?
Suhail, you know that I work on all three. I work on mind, I work on body, and I work on soul.
I know.
No, all together. I'm into holistic stuff.
But you are. But what would be something that would impress you the most in another person? Mind, body or soul?
I think I would go for mind. I usually go for intellect.
Okay, fair enough. So some very honest, very frank and very quick answers coming our way, which is very interesting, and that brings me.
Told me to keep it quick, so I kept it very quick.
No, I love it. I love the speed. So now we move to segment 3, which is called Pucho to Jane. So now, Neil, in Pucho to Jane, what has happened is that an author from the book Bakers has asked you a question. So not only do you have to respond to the question first, you have to then tell me who has asked you that question. So I'll be giving you 3 options and you have to choose from that. So if you're able, and this round has a 3 idiots connotation. So if you're able to respond in the first go, you are like Rancho, Amir Khan, topper of the class. If you respond in the second go, you're like Madhavan, Farhan, somewhere in the middle. And if you're unable to, then you're like Raju, played by Sharman Joshi, at the bottom. Alright, so first let's see what the question is, and then we'll see who has asked you that. So the question is a very interesting one actually, and the question is, if while running a marathon, you stumble upon a brilliant idea for your next story, and it can vanish just the way it came to you, would you continue with the marathon or forego it to ponder over the idea?
I would finish the marathon.
You would
finish the marathon, and I would take the chance of the story remaining with me till the end of the marathon, and as long as I go home and recover and start writing and all, because this is what has happened to me, Suhail, a lot of times. I'm a daily runner, so I get hit by ideas out of the blue, but then I have also conditioned myself to remember those ideas, because I think that if an idea is strong enough, so this is one of my theories. So I believe that, which is a good book, these are not the temporal ideas that come suddenly, fleetingly. They will come seductively. You will want to write them as soon as they have hit you. That will always happen. I also, when I mentor students to write, I tell them that let your ideas stew in your mind for some time. Let it stay. If you think over the idea for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and if the idea is still appealing, if you still feel that there is merit in this idea that I should write it, then you should write it.
Then go for
Don't go by gut instinct in this case, because usually our gut instinct is wrong in such a case. So this is my answer. I will finish the marathon and I'll take the chance on whether the idea stays with me or not. It has also happened to me in dreams. I sometimes get wonderful dreams and then they vanish by morning. So that's fine. I think Siddharth has asked me this question because
I will give you. So I will give you 3 options. I will give you 3 options and you can choose then. Okay. As you rightly mentioned, the first option is of the person who you mentioned. So has this question been asked to you by Siddharth Nirwal? Has this question been asked to you by Jay Alani? Or has this question been asked to you by Nikhil Upreti? Who has asked you this?
I think it is Siddharth, because that mention of the marathon, it's a giveaway.
So the question was indeed Dhasu, but not Dhasu enough, because it is not Siddharth who has asked you that question.
Oh, then Jay.
So, Jay. And I'm so happy that you are indeed the Raju of the class because Nikhil Upreti asked you that question.
Nikhil Upreti asked me that question. Nikhil, really sorry, man, but we have never had this talk about marathons on chat, so I don't know.
Yeah, I remember you asked a question to Anirban in this game, and he was able to correctly identify. He said, because it's a very cerebral question. I knew it would be me who would ask that question.
It was a nicely tricky and masked question.
Yeah. So okay,
Siddharth, and one more reason is because Siddharth and I were just having this talk few days back about let all authors get together and let's have an author special run. Let's have an author run.
Yeah, it would be nice. Yes, I think he's also taken to running and all after seeing some of your posts. So, but good response and an engaging segment nonetheless, which takes me to segment 4, which is called Best and the Worst. So in segment 4, I'll be asking you a few of your favorite things and few things that you totally detest. So here we go. Your favorite dish?
Eggs. Anything with eggs. I think right. I'm very happy with burji.
All right.
Scrambled eggs.
The yuckiest dish you have ever eaten?
I don't know. Must be something in a 5-star for sure.
Okay. Your favorite film?
The Lion King.
The Lion King. And the worst movie ever seen?
The Archies.
The new one. Oh yeah, I saw your review of that. So it was pretty interesting. Okay. So your favorite actor?
My favorite actor? Oh come on, now there are so many parameters to it. How can I answer?
Anyone.
Many actors in various. I think I don't know. At times it is Irfan Khan. At times it is. I just enjoy watching actors perform different challenging roles.
Okay.
So I think competition with Irfan Khan and Taboo always win. That's always us. Taboo and Irfan Khan.
That's true. So the next question is that which is the best and worst film of your favorite actor? So which is in your opinion the best and the worst film of Irfan Khan?
For Irfan Khan, I think it would be the Lunchbox for me because that really stayed with me. And the worst movie of Irfan Khan, I don't think he can be worst in anything.
But the movie could be bad, no?
I think there was this. I can't recall. I'm not very much of a movie person. Let's leave it. But I think there was this movie, one horror movie that she did, which was very bad. I'm not getting the name. Taboo's horror movie that she did was very bad. Hawa. So Taboo, she was also mine. She's also my favorite.
I think that was an Indian remake of The Entity. They had made a remake of
and it was
or the Poltergeist. I think Poltergeist, one of these two.
I think it was The Entity or something. I think it was The Entity.
Yeah.
Not Poltergeist. Hawa was really good. I could not watch it.
Okay. Your favorite song?
My favorite song right now, I don't know why I'm singing the title song of Mohabbatein a lot.
Okay, nice. A hit or a popular song that you don't like or did not like?
Munni Badnaam.
Okay. Your least favorite actor? Okay. Your least favorite actor? Yeah.
I'm now going to really make this controversial. Salman Khan.
No, we've got that response in few of our sessions, so that's fine. The worst movie of your least favorite actor?
Worst movie of my least favorite actor? Oh God. And this is really down in the talks. I've not watched many of his movies. So I can't say. But I think any of these current, that particular phase when he was doing movies back to back, Ready and all that.
Okay, I get it. All right.
I think Ready.
Okay. The best thing about your spouse?
She's very patient and she knows that the kind of life that I've taken up writing, it requires a lot of patience itself. And there will be times when like this year was a year of waiting, nothing really happened, everything is going at a jet speed, nothing is materializing, nothing is coming out. So she, not even once in the whole year, she has asked me like, when will this happen, she believes that things take their time and she's always by my side whatever happens.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
She's never like asked me like, when is this going to come out?
Nice.
Whether it's a book, whether it's a web series for which we have had such long wait.
Yeah.
It's
Perfect. A thing you would want to improve in your spouse?
nothing. Like, I think we are perfect. See, it's let me put it in perspective. We do have our arguments. There were things that I will tell her that this is not good, I don't like this. She will tell me the same thing. But then, even then, I think that if you change those things, then that is not the person you got married to. So, so I think I would not like to, with all the beauties and the blemishes, I think I accept her.
Perfect. So Neil has very safely evaded a beating at home by not mentioning what he
like to
say.
a lot of political interviews, so I know how to tackle this.
Alright, so that brings us to segment 5 now, which is called Dimag Ka Dahi. So now, Neil, in Dimag Ka Dahi, I would be asking you a brain teaser, and if I'm in the mood, I may just ask you two. So you have to respond to it, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so your brain teaser is that एक बार एक दुकान में गूंगा गया, उसको टूथब्रश चाहिए था, और एक गूंगा एक स्टोर में गया, उसको टूथब्रश चाहिए था, और वहां पे जो टूथब्रश चाहिए था, और वहां पे जो शॉपकीपर था बहुत स्मार्ट था, तो दैट गाय वेंट एंड ही डिड दिस. सो शॉपकीपर समझ गया उसको टूथब्रश चाहिए, उसने उसको टूथब्रश दे दिया, ठीक है. अ लिटिल व्हाइल लेटर ब्लाइंड मैन केम, ही वांटेड स्पेक्टिकल्स. कैसे मांगेगा?
मुंह से चश्मा दे.
That is absolutely right. Well done. That is the right answer indeed. So you got that perfectly correct. Yes. And so I'll ask you one more since you've got that right. Hopefully you'll get this one right too. And the question is, Arnold Schwarzenegger has a long one. Michael J. Fox has a small one. Madonna doesn't have one. And the Pope doesn't need one. What?
I'm a very sleazy person like that, but I know that the answer is surname.
Yes, I could make out by your face that you knew the answer, but I liked the smile that was there on your face before you answered. So, good job, 2 on 2. Well done, Neil. That was great. And it's always nice to see authors getting full marks over here. So we move now to segment 6, an equally fun round called Never Have I Ever. So you know how it works. I'll ask you 10 things. What you need to do is, you just need to show us your 10 fingers. With everything that you have done, you put a finger down. Okay? If you've not done something, you let me know. I'll move to the next question. And let's see at the end of it how many fingers remain intact. Alright? So, here we go. Never have I ever stolen in a shop.
I never stolen. So I put the finger down, right?
No. Keep it as is. Beaten someone from the opposite gender. Beaten someone from the opposite gender. Okay. Kissed someone from the same gender.
No.
Okay. Made an excuse to not pay the restaurant bill.
Does my son count? Because I have kissed him.
It counts. Yeah, you can do that.
You're doing this.
Okay. Made an excuse to not pay the restaurant bill.
I won't eat, but I will not do that.
Okay, that's good. Stalked the profile of an ex.
I don't have any exes as such. I was a very nice guy.
Okay. Got drunk at a party. Okay, that's 2. Had naughty thoughts about an office colleague.
Author colleague?
Okay. Kissed in public.
No.
Okay. Used a pickup line to impress someone.
Pickup line? I may have.
Okay. Lied about your actual location to someone.
All the time.
Okay. So that's good. We've come to the end of the round. 5 yeses and 5 no's. So some very interesting things done.
That keeps me in balance.
Yes, that keeps you in balance. So some interesting things done and some interesting things left to be done. And let's see how that goes in due course. But that brings me to segment 7, which is my favorite round. It is called Main Hoon Kaun. So now, Neil, in Main Hoon Kaun, I would be giving you 3 clues about a particular personality. and you have to guess who that personality is. So if you are able to guess the personality in the first or the second clue, you get an advantage for one of the future rounds. But if you give an incorrect response, then you also get a penalty. So if you don't know, you can ask me to ask you the next clue, and I'll ask that. In the third chance, of course, you can take a wild guess. There are no penalties, but there are no advantages either. All right. So here we go with your personality.
Known personality, I mean people that we know from our friends or something like that.
You will get to know. So famous people, known for my action thrillers, the first in the list of many, and also my debut as a director was the film Atish, Feel the Fire, starring Aditya Pancholi. If you don't know, I can ask the next clue.
That's it.
Atish, Feel the Fire, starring Aditya Pancholi.
I'm trying to recollect the name of the person. I have met him. I know the person, I forgot the name.
Okay.
It's just slipping me at the moment.
Okay.
I can go to it anytime.
Okay.
And find out.
The second clue is, I am the only director to have made a full-length film starring Hrithik Roshan for his father Rakesh Roshan's production house Filmcraft.
I know the person, I'm forgetting the name, so the second clue also won't help. Please go ahead.
Okay. The third one is, even though I made unofficial remakes of Reservoir Dogs and Old Boy, I officially took up.
I'm going to Twitter right now. He just messaged. I'm so bad.
I officially took up the comic book rights of the vigilante comic book character Rakshak.
You know that we have met, we have even shared pictures, and we are friends.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's one of those moments when you have a brain freeze. You know, like a math exam.
I understand.
When you know the formula.
So I know you know. I know you know. So the answer is Sanjay Gupta. So.
Of course, Sanjay. And I was going to the Subhash Gupta, and I did not want to do that.
Yeah. So Sanjay Gupta. In fact, I met him very recently at the Crime Lit Fest in Dehradun. So Sanjay Gupta, of course, because he has admired your books a lot and also posted about it. So we thought we'll ask you about him.
Sanjay Gupta, okay. If you're watching this, then very sorry, apologies. It happens sometimes. I'm like Einstein. I stand in a queue and I forget my own name when I come to my turn comes. So it sometimes happens that the name just slips off my mind. Yeah.
Okay. So now we come. Yeah, but it was interesting nonetheless. I could see that you knew it, but you just couldn't get the name. Alright, so now we come to segment 8, which is called Picture Abhi Baki Hai Mere Dost. Alright, so Neil, Sapna's Bad Connection is your latest book, right? And obviously there are 3 principal characters in Sapna's Bad Connection. Sapna, a current lover, and of course a lover from the past, right? So what I wanted to ask you is that if it was turned into a cinematic adaptation, who would you cast for the 3 roles?
Interestingly, we did have this discussion because someone was interested in the rights of Sapna's Bad Connection. So we were talking about some potential actors who could play this. The names of Taapsee Pannu had come to mind, and I was more keen on somebody like Urmila Matondkar to play this role because it's of a woman who is not very, she's done that and been there.
Done that, yeah.
So, so I think either of these two, whether Taapsee Pannu, because she's a solid actress and she can pull any role and she can do anything with a role, and Sapna's role is very, 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 very complex, even though it's my own book. I'm telling you this because it took me 6 years to write this book just because I wanted to get the character pat down. And now when the reviews are coming in, they're coming in slowly, I'll tell you that, because the book is not for everyone. It's a very difficult read. If you manage to read till the end and you see the whole gamut of emotions that Sapna goes through, you will understand that it will take somebody with stellar acting chops to play this.
To do it. Alright, and who would you cast for the 2 guys, the current lover and the flame from the past?
To play the role of Kedar, seriously, Sushant Singh Rajput would have been a great choice, but that's such a big loss to all of us. that we don't have, because when I wrote the role of Kedar, I'll tell you seriously, I had him in mind. So this started way back. I'm writing the manuscript was in 2015. So I had him in mind, and I do not know. I do not want to now say any other name because it will sound shallow. Maybe Vicky Kaushal now, because he's somewhat the same physicality,
Sure.
and he has the acting talents. And the role of the guy whom she's married to, the suspect, could be not really thought, but I think somebody mature, somebody who has a caring and compassionate personality, but at the same time, when he does things, they do not get through. I think you'll be a better choice to decide that, because you know more actors than I do.
I know a lot more, but I'll do it in a different way. So, your star cast included Vicky Kaushal and a toss-up between Tapsi and Urmila Matondkar. What we do over here is something in a different way. So, if you see, we've got these two bowls which have chits in them. So, one has names of male actors, the other has names of lady actors. So, what I'd be doing is I'd be swirling it. You have to ask me to stop. The moment you ask me to stop, I'll take out 3 chits and you have to choose a number. So whichever one you eventually zero on becomes the actor who would play that role. Okay, so it's a fun segment, and we'll do that. So let's start off with the Kedar first, and let's see who will play his role. So let me know when you would want me to stop.
Okay, ideal person was Vicky Kaushal, but let us see.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. So that's 1. Sorry, that is 2, and okay, that is 3. So 1, 2, 3. Which one would you prefer?
2.
Okay, so we put those back. Now let's do it for the husband.
Okay.
Okay, that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. Which one?
1.
Okay, so we'll see who it is later on. I've just put them aside. And now for the girl.
Sapna Damle. Stop.
1. Okay, there's quite a few of them entangled. Wait, 2 and 3. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3. Which one?
3.
3? Okay. So let's see what the cast is like. Okay, interesting. So, and actually, you are pretty much in the groove. So the role of Sapna would be played by someone fitting the larger brief that you mentioned, Vidya Balan. Vidya Balan will play the role of Sapna. That's good. The role of Kedar, believe it or not, will be played by Vicky Kaushal. Vicky Kaushal will play the role of Kedar.
Vidya Balan and Vicky Kaushal. Just think about it.
Vidya Balan, Vicky Kaushal, and the star of the show, the husband's role, will be played by none other than Rajpal Yadav. So you have Rajpal Yadav.
Compassionate, caring.
Yes, so you have Rajpal Yadav, Vicky Kaushal, and Vidya Balan. I think the movie should do well. We have a good star cast.
Very intriguing. And this is the cover of the book, by the way.
Yes. So I think it'll do well, and we have a fun, cast over here. So Neil, with that, we move to segment 9, which is called "What Would You Do?" So Neil, segment 9, as I told you, is "What would you do?" So it's very simple. I'd be asking you 10 questions, and you have to tell what would you do. Number 1, if you woke up as Bobby Darling.
Take a lot of pictures and post on Instagram.
Okay. If Urfi Javed was your fashion.
I don't know, because as a man, posting selfies you don't get many likes. Maybe as Bobby Darling you might.
Yeah, a little more, somewhere in the middle. Okay. If Urfi Javed was your fashion designer.
What fashion?
If you became the PM for a day.
Where do I start? I'll just you can just watch Nayak and you'll know what I'll do.
Okay. If Arjun Kapoor approached you to play you in your biopic, what would you tell him?
I would direct.
Okay, that's a smart answer for those who get it. If you had the power of invisibility.
Invisibility. Rob a bank?
Okay. If your cell phone fell into the toilet.
Doesn't matter. I'm a disgusting person, so I may fish it out. But it's an iPhone, so it's also on the cloud, so I won't care.
Okay. If God came in front of you.
I'll just ask him why.
Why did he come in front of you?
No, why? Why are many things happening in this world which should not happen, but they are?
Alright. If you were swimming and someone stole your clothes.
It's fine. I have got a good body now.
Yeah, okay, that's nice. Nice answer. If you found yourself inside the big boss house.
I'll probably get myself expelled in the first.
Okay.
I can't take that.
If someone changed your gender.
There were a lot of gender-based questions, Suhail. I'm just okay. I think it's great. I mean, not in that sense, but I feel as a woman you have a more refined gamut of emotions. Like I'll finally be able to answer the question what women want.
Okay.
And then you'll put in my books.
Yes, absolutely. Fair enough. So that brings us to the end of segment 9 and takes us to a very interesting segment called segment 10. What next? So Neil, in what next you need to tell our viewers and your readers what can we expect next from you. Without going too much into detail, just give them a 30-second teaser about what your next project looks like.
I've got a book with Jayalani coming up again. It's a second book with Jayalani, and that is to be published with HarperCollins. It's The Terrifying Truth. So we are working on finishing the manuscript as we speak. And that's it. That's
okay.
Everything else at the house.
Alright, yes, so that's the next one, and you can expect a lot of spooky stuff over there as well. And that takes me to segment 11, which is called Joke Time. So now, Neil, in Joke Time, you either have to tell us a joke or you have to recount a funny or hilarious anecdote.
Okay. I don't know. I'm very bad with jokes. Nobody laughs at my jokes.
Okay, so you can tell us an anecdote.
I'm a person who scares people. So there was this one time when I was writing Maya's New Husband, and it was past 12 and I was writing alone. It is the same room, by the way. Everything was dark. I was very sure that everybody in the family had slept. And I was writing this very spooky scene, and it was the time when I was not an author. So everybody was in the house. They were just taking like, "ये तो कुछ पागलपन कर रहा है, like time pass कर रहा है, करने दो." So, but I'm writing, and at 2 o'clock there is this sound, this noise, whatever disturbance, and I'm shit scared, and I don't know what to do. Like, should I go to sleep? Should I continue? Because the scene is midway. Okay, I want to finish it also. And then suddenly, like something. All dressed in white comes and runs past like this, and that was the moment I was like, then I look and then I see that it is nothing but my wife playing tricks on me, and she actually did that. That is the hilarious part of it. You will not understand it. I mean, you may not get it, but for me,
no, I of course do. I of course do, and it was like she did it on purpose, so she was having fun with you, right? So
yeah. And the same morning we had fought, so I did not expect that at all.
Okay, yeah, so she was basically venting out her frustration. Okay, but a very funny, I can envisage it how it would have been. So nice anecdote to share. So that's quite nice. And
she was wearing that oversized white t-shirt of mine. So
alright. So now we come to the penultimate segment. It's called Zaban Sambhal Ke. So segment 12, as I said, Zaban Sambhal Ke. Basically, we have 6 tongue twisters lined up, and you have to choose any one out of those 6 randomly. Because you played it safe, you don't have any penalties in this round. So this was the round that I was talking to you about. So choose any one out of these 6. Give me a number. I'll tell you what it is, and you have to.
How many times do I have to say that?
10 times quickly. 10 times. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which one?
Achha, it's a blind choosing. 4.
Okay. It is. Okay. So in my opinion, possibly the most difficult one. But let's see. It is तोला राम ताला तोल के तेल में तल गया. I'll repeat it. Wait.
हाँ.
तोला राम ताला तोल के तेल में तल गया.
तोलाराम ताला तोल के तेल में तल गया.
Yeah.
तोलाराम ताला तोल के तेल में तल गया. 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 What's my prize?
Oh, it was 9. चलो कोई नहीं, एक बचा था, कोई नहीं. अच्छा चलो, nevertheless you did it well and you did it without any goof ups. So आपके लिए एक तला हुआ ताला आपको मिल जाएगा, आपके घर पे हम भेज देंगे, ठीक है? You will get that, but well done. It was a great attempt, flawless attempt, and I think that's the trick. You know, if you understand what the tongue twister is saying, then it becomes easier for you to say it, and I could see that you got it. So well done, and that finally brings us to segment number 13. Perfect segment to end our show with someone who writes horror stories. Segment 13 is called TBB Shoutout. So Neil, in TBB Shoutout, you need to tell us how has your equation been working with the book bakers, and what do you make out of our show Superstars with Suhail?
So I have been very, very open and vocal about how TBB has given me that, one thing which I needed to be in the space of this writing world, to make that leap from being a self-published author to be a traditional published author, because that really means a lot. Seeing the names of all these publishers on my resume now and being at all these lectures whenever I get the chance to go to. So I always knew that I could be a writer, but I did not know that I could be published traditionally and all, whether I was worth it. And sure, how bestsellers also, I don't like that term, that, but still, that's the way the market dictates. And it's been a learning experience to know how the publishing industry works. I think it's fantastic. Like, most importantly, why I love being with the book bakers so much is because you understand horror better than most people in this industry do. I'm talking about even the people who write horror, they have a very scant understanding of horror. They have a very one-dimensional understanding of horror. I'm trying to say it as it is.
In fact, Neil, I was watching. I'm still watching this movie. It's, I think, a Spanish film called Sister Death, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I've started seeing it, and one of the things that I liked about it, I'm still seeing. So, I can't say how it will eventually turn out. But what I liked was that it's very different from the others in terms of how it goes about it. It's slow, and it draws you in. It draws you in. And I thought one of the things that your writing also does, which makes you stand apart from a lot of other books in the genre, is that you take the reader in, and then everything happens. So it's slow, steady, but you make the reader a part of the story.
Every book is an experiment. That's what. For me, every book is an experiment, and I approach horror in a different way with every book.
Yeah.
So if you see, no two books will be alike. Whereas, it's not like, for me, it's not always just go wham bam, thank you.
Exactly. Yes.
Like and you understand that. So you understand the psychology that goes behind the horror writer as well as the horror reader.
So I told my wife Sumedha also that she said that how are you finding? I said I'm quite enjoying it because it's a different take, just like how Neil writes his books. I'm quite enjoying it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the movie will also turn out as good as your books are. And yes, what do you make out of our show?
The show has been a roller coaster of fun, and I know for a fact that you are a very humorous guy. I think this show is the perfect place for you to have a ball of a time with all your author friends also, because I can see that you are enjoying this a lot.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
And of course, your schedule is very busy, I know, as is of all the authors. But coming together on this for 1 hour, just chatting around, having fun, watching the interviews of the other authors as well, that's going to be a great stress buster.
Absolutely. So I had a lot of fun, and I loved some no hold bar, responses, and very honest responses that you gave, which gave an insight into the process as well. So thank you so much for being part of Superstars with Suhail. I'm sure the audience will love the show when they see it, and I'll be back with another brand new episode of Superstars with Suhail with another superstar. But till then, this is Suhail Mathur and Neil De Silva signing off. Take care. Cheers. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Suhail. Thank you, the TVB family.
Cheers. Bye.